Welcome everybody to everyone's favorite Red Mage, episode number 89. I'm Nolfing Wei, aka Spencer, and this is a 5-minute breakdown of a red Magic the Gathering card, their properties, missed opportunities, and honestly, what I think. You can find me on twitch.tv/NolfingWei for a $0 free experience on MTG Arena. I'll show you how to get it done. Today is the card from Phyrexia, All is One. All will be one. 5 mana, 2 red and 3 colorless for an enchantment mythic rare. Whenever you put one or more counters on a permanent or player, all will be one deals that much damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls. Anyone smell a little control decky here? Right, it's a little of a control deck feel. It can probably be a little combo as well, but it's like a control deck with a combo card or a combo deck with a control card, right? So usually at the 5 mana slot for red, this, and it's not a creature. It's not in the red aggro deck, right? Also, when you have a 5 mana enchantment, typically these cards have game-changing effects in red, especially if they're not creatures. You know, you have things 4 mana, 5 mana. You'll have, fire. What is that? You'll have like sneak attack. You'll have a lot of bangers at the 4 slot, 5 slot. So I know that this card here is going to be spicy. Now let's look at it. Whenever you put one or more counters on a permanent or a player, right? So Proliferate does that, right? And Phyrexia All is One introduces oil counters, right? That's good. There are all sort of counters, right? +1 counters, -1 counters, insect counters, now infect counters, and now infect is now considered toxic, right? That they're using the vocabulary toxic. Right? Then you have all sorts of different kind of counters. You have indestructible counters and damage counters, right? Or what do you call this? The indestructible counter, or you have counters for days. You have so many counters for anything. So whenever I put any counter on anything, this card does damage, right? And it can do damage, and it's an or, it's not an and. So you creature, right? A planeswalker or an opponent, which is really exciting because you can redirect the damage in all sorts of ways. Now, it kind of sucks that you doesn't do damage to all 3 sources, but at least it gives you the option to redirect to choose within the 3. Now, this card is quite slow as it needs another helper. It needs ways for the deck to have counters, right? Like you have to add counters somehow, right? You can either have these infect counters, these toxic counters, or even persist counters. That's really, really fun. I saw persist the other day, right? So all be one out, and you have your all will be one enchantment out, and then you'll have your persist creature. You attack, like kitchen finks or whatever, and then it blocks, kills it, comes back, and then it does damage when it comes back into play. You gain some life, and life is good. I think that all will be one is a really, really fun card. I think it's really, really expensive. But I know for sure that in a deck that requires, counters, like counters that can add up. So if you can proliferate, that'd be good. If you can add counters, you can modular. A lot of artifacts like to modular around, which gets a little cute because here, if you put one or more, you could put that much damage, especially with modular counters, which gets super exciting. Also, if you have any creatures that add +1/+1 counters, this can trigger multiple times. So there's a lot of other creatures that add like +1/+1 counters to everything, or -1/-1 counters to everything, and all be one will be paired up and do damage to everything, which honestly is very exciting for this card. But like I said, it needs a helper card. So it's a good card. If I would change it, probably make it cheaper. I'd probably make it an and. Right, I'd probably make it an and, or when all be one comes into play, it gives a counter, right? Like it should come into play and give a counter. I don't know. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Tell me what you think, okay? Let me know with a comment on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or on twitch.tv/NoahFingway. Next, let me know what other card I should review next, okay? You decide. Episode 89 in the books. See you next time.